In the small town of Elmswood, lived a young woman named Clara. Despite her outward successes, her flourishing career, a close-knit circle of friends, and a cozy apartment, Clara struggled with a nagging sense of inadequacy. She felt that she never quite measured up to the ideal she had set for herself, an ideal that seemed perpetually out of reach. Each morning, Clara would gaze at her reflection in the mirror and scrutinize her appearance. She would focus on her perceived flaws, the curve of her nose, the unevenness of her skin tone, the few extra pounds she had gained over the years. No matter how many compliments she received or how many achievements she accomplished, these reflections were never enough to shake her self-doubt. One particularly gloomy Monday morning, Clara was preparing for a presentation at work. Her anxiety was heightened as she dressed, adjusting her outfit nervously and peering at her reflection with dissatisfaction. As she was about to leave, her grandmother's old, ornate mirror, an heirloom she had inherited, caught her eye. It had always been a silent witness to her life, a beautiful but inconspicuous presence in the corner of her room. Feeling an impulse, Clara approached the mirror and leaned in, staring into her own eyes. She began to speak aloud. "Why do I always see only what's wrong with me? Why can't I ever be satisfied?" As if in response, the reflection seemed to shimmer. Clara blinked and realized that she was not alone in the mirror's gaze. Her grandmother's image appeared, looking warm and gentle, though slightly translucent. Clara gasped. "Grandma?" Clara whispered, her voice trembling. "Yes, dear," the reflection replied softly. "It's me. I've come to offer you something I wish I could have given you sooner, some wisdom and love." Clara, though startled, felt a strange comfort. "But I don't understand." "Why now?" "Because," the grandmother said, "I've seen your struggles, and I want you to know something important. You have always been your own harshest critic. You see yourself through the lens of flaws and failings. But I see you differently. I see a young woman who is kind, hardworking, and incredibly capable. I see your heart." Clara's eyes filled with tears. "But I don't feel that way. I feel like I'm never enough." Her grandmother smiled gently. "Self-love isn't about being perfect, it's about accepting and cherishing yourself despite your imperfections. Just as I see you with all your strengths and virtues, you must learn to see yourself in that same light. Self-love starts with recognizing your worth and valuing yourself just as you are." With a tender sigh, Clara looked back at her reflection. "But how do I start?" "Begin with kindness," her grandmother advised. "When you look in the mirror, speak to yourself with compassion. Celebrate your successes, however small. Forgive yourself for mistakes and remember that you are enough, just as you are." As the reflection began to fade, Clara felt a profound sense of calm wash over her. She realized that self-love was not a destination but a journey, one that required patience and practice. That day, Clara made a pact with herself. She would no longer allow her inner critic to overshadow her self-worth. She would embrace her imperfections and celebrate her strengths. The next time Clara looked into the mirror, she saw not just her physical appearance but also the person she was becoming, a person worthy of love and appreciation. And with that realization, she took a deep breath and stepped into her day with newfound confidence, carrying the wisdom of her grandmother with her.